The major issue facing this area is deforestation. And deforestation as a result of removing the forest in order to get the aggregate. And as a result of the deforestation, we have loss of biodiversity, we have loss of arable land, we have flooding, we have air pollution, and all of these can have impacts on the social life of the people in the area.
The community have no work, so biggest problem in my community is work right now.
Well, one of the biggest problems in this area, people kind of get a job due to the fact that they don't have a proper education.
Our project here in Trinidad and Tobago, it's the rehabilitation of quarries in the northeast area. We are on the National Quarry site, which is the pilot site for this project. We're looking at 2.5 hectares out of a 20-hectare area to rehabilitate. Right now, we're using 2 NGOs. We're using the IAM movement, and we're working with the Trust for Sustainable Livelihoods. And under their management, we have 27 rehabilitation champions, ranging from the vicinity of Valencia to Sandy Grande, which is the geographic area for this project. And they are undergoing training in quarry rehabilitation techniques.
With the GEF-IWEco project, we are first replanting the land, putting forest trees into the land. In addition to putting forest trees, we are setting up what you call check dams in order to filter water that flows over the land. We are also putting in the vetiver grass, which would serve to hold bind the soil on the ground so that it would make it difficult for erosion to take place. And we have set up a nursery to produce plants for future planting.
I just want to tell everybody, thank you all for coming out here in the rain. And what I'm here today to do with you all is to really test this new tool that we've developed called the Local Green Blue Enterprise Radar, which is a self-assessment tool that was developed by CANARI for small and micro enterprises in rural communities. And it's really a tool to help community SMEs to understand how their business is doing in terms of economic viability, in terms of environmental sustainability, and in terms of social inclusivity as well. So what you're doing for the community, and to learn this is what we're doing right now, and this is how we can improve, and what we can improve in our business moving forward. So really and truly, it's coming from the members of the business. We assess based on the four different areas of sustainability. So economic viability and well-being, good governance, social inclusivity, and environmental sustainability. And each one of the dimensions has 6 indicators. And I will be asking questions about each one of the indicators to really elicit, views and your thoughts about how you think your enterprise is doing. So hopefully through doing the radar today, you'll learn and see new avenues of how you could continue doing the good work that you're already doing right now. Do you all conserve biodiversity?
Yes, we do. We conserve biodiversity. We plant different species of plants, and we plant plants that was native to the to this area, and we encourage these types of plants we plant. We encourage animals to come back to the forest.
Yeah.
In my space, I normally tell them about what we learn here, because I was one that like trees and things, and I see trees, I just like to chop, and burn. I hate trees. Yeah, I was a hater of trees, and now I'm not like that again. And so I know it have people like my mother, she's a hater of trees too. So I normally just tell her and show her the importance of the trees, you understand? So, and even in the little children that I deal with, I try to implement a little bit of this of the environment, so it's good.
Yeah.
to impart whatever you learn here, to impart anybody
Others.
that you meet, to make the place a better place.
We have a plant inside here called the moringa. We have seedlings to sell, and what we can do, we can plant them, and the beans, the seeds, we can market those. We can dry the leaves and make sachets, and
It's opportunities.
Even eat the
Yeah.
seed too.
you
So,
eat the seed.
so I'm saying these are like more sorts of new enterprises, because that could be tea on oil and ice cream,
Mine's in bread.
bread. Yeah. So what I'm hearing, because I know this is a more difficult question, is that I would rank this. There's potential, so it might be like midway, so probably like a 5 or so. Yeah. Just because it's new, it's new, but there's a lot of potential for building more economic linkages. So this is the completed radar, colored, and you're seeing that the GEF-IWEco project actually ranked very highly across almost all of the dimensions of business sustainability, right? Which means that in terms of local green enterprise, your project is actually performing very well, because you do perform excellently on environmental sustainability. I mean, that is a given, just by the work that you're doing. In terms of social, there is room for improvement, but by and far, you've been performing well, and you've acknowledged that, yes, in terms of decent work, for example, yes, it provides work, but it can be improved. In terms of governance, and governance is so interesting to see how high you all ranked on governance. But if you don't have workers and the management that are comfortable with each other to share in the decision making, to share their ideas, and to share what's even their opinions and how they want to improve on the work, then you're not going to be able to build and grow.
During the session with the radar tool, we were able to realize that we have done well environmentally, but the economic part of it must be realized. I'm now rethinking how we approach this project as a business that would bring sustainable livelihoods to these community members.
The workshop today showed that we done a lot in a little space of time. Didn't know that we do so much or cover so much, and it always have room for improvement.
One thing I want to say is that never underestimate the power of a community to do an intervention to solve an environmental problem, because we have proven that these community people, ordinary people, were able to be retooled, empowered, and they are ready to solve this major environmental problem of deforestation.
Well, friends, we gather here today to tell of our journey along the way. Well, it started in September 2018 at the Church of the Nazarene. Mr. Carlton, he really do care. He always start the day with a morning prayer. Mr. Chin, that little Chinese, boy, he know how to stretch the money for we. La da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Santi Mani. Such IWEco, our movement, just to name a few. We truly thank God for all of you. Before this program, we couldn't identify one tree. Now we know locust, maho, sardine, mahogany. The tree consists of a trunk and roots, you see. It produces fruit seed, oxygen in the air, that's free. The tree looks how it supports the crown. The roots anchor the tree upright in the ground. Da 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 da.